What's up, guys? We are back with the Advisor Odyssey podcast. Heading into the month of February, we are going to be focused all around operations and finance and improving your systems, processes, etc., all behind the scenes. Stay tuned for this episode because we are going to be talking about 10 very simple, easily implementable ways that you can increase your second and third appointment stick ratio.
This is the Advisor Odyssey audio experience, where financial advisors, planners, insurance agents, and brokers will find fresh new ideas and perspectives around what it takes to launch, succeed, scale, and bulletproof their business.
All right, guys, jumping into how you can improve your second and third appointment stick ratios. There's no intro, there's no build-up. We're jumping in right away. The first way is to email a video that discusses your story as a person, like your About You section, call it, on your website or on your LinkedIn. Email a video that discusses your story, your team, and your clients. If you can film that on like BombBomb, for example, or some other video software that your compliance might allow, shoot a quick video, and you would not personalize it. It would just be evergreen content. Think of it as like an emotional or personable type of video. Send that out. That should go out to them in an email form, something along the lines of, thanks for meeting with us. Our team will be working on developing some possible ideas and solutions for you. Please enjoy this video in the meantime. We look forward to seeing you on XYZ date at XYZ time. That's it. That's the first way. The second way is to email a copy of your most recent media publication. And ideally, it would have been featured in a well-known or at least a respectable journal or article database, publication, etc. Now, whether that's maybe like Forbes magazine or like Kiplinger, or maybe you're in a local magazine that's talking about like, local businesses, whatever it is. If you have those articles, you should, number one, have it hanging in your office so people see it when they walk in. It's an immediate credibility boost. But have that article ready to go, not in a downloadable form. This is what I recommend. I would say to have it in an actual hyperlink so they can go to the actual website to view it. For example, send them an article that has, Forbes logo on it. It might be great. But if you can send them the link to take them to the Forbes website to read your article and see all the that it is legitimate, you're going to slightly build credibility and leverage that, again, will only help to increase your show rate. The third way that you can increase your second and third appointment stick ratio is to make a concierge phone call to the prospect simply to confirm that they have everything that they need, that they know exactly where to go and all of that, but then also that it's clear to them what they need to bring to this next appointment. Now, in a perfect world, this is not you as the advisor making this phone call. You would love for it to be your staff or your team. With that said, though, if it is your staff or your team making that phone call, they should be armed with some sort of objection handling scripts or some sort of rebuttals ready in case they have a client or a prospect, I should say, kind of look at backing out or say they don't want to meet with you or whatever the situation is. Have them armed and ready for when that comes up. But the concierge phone call will only increase your show rate. The fourth way that you can increase your second and third appointment stick rate is to email the prospect a recent article, or even if there's a video that you can find on YouTube or something that discusses the specific concern or problem that they had or that you feel like they had when they came in to meet with you. Now, for example, maybe during your discovery meeting, it came out in that meeting that one of the big reasons why they're concerned about their financial future is because they don't feel like they have a good plan in place for long-term care expenses. And maybe their parents had crazy expensive long-term care plans and it exhausted their portfolios and the children had to pay for it. That's a real thing that impacts a lot of people. Sending them a video or a brief article that discusses that specifically, plus a little note that just says something like, hey, John and Susie, I read this the other day and it made me think of you guys immediately. I wanted you to know that our team is working on coming up with solutions and ways that you can be ahead of this and make sure this doesn't happen to you. But I thought you might also enjoy some of the stuff that's discussed in this article or in this video. What's up, guys? If you're enjoying all this great content, be sure to check out our other content platforms for more and different types of content all around ways that you can become a better advisor. Things like marketing, sales process development, client experience. Maybe it's managing your team and your advisors better. Whatever it is, Be sure to check out our social media profiles. You can find us at Advisor Odyssey across most every single platform that you're likely using. If you're looking for some more in-depth written out articles and blog posts, you can find that both on Medium by searching again at Advisor Odyssey, and then also on LinkedIn on my personal page, Daniel Hodajak. It's on these social media platforms where you can send in your questions, your feedback, your thoughts, and then I will then take that, formulate it, and I will try to create, maybe it's an entire podcast episode, another post that's specifically designed to help you answer the question that you are sending in. Again, that can be a direct message, it can be an email. Whatever it is, feel free, ask the question. I'll give you my best insight, and then hopefully it can make a huge difference in your business. Anyways, guys, let's get back to the episode. The fifth way that you can increase your second and third appointment stick ratio is my favorite personally, and it is mail the prospect a dozen of their favorite cookies or flowers if maybe they don't like cookies. Imagine being asked, like in your discovery meeting, just randomly somewhere in the middle of it, or you could weave it in the beginning or end, whatever, but imagine being asked what your favorite type of cookie is. You know, you've got all these different questions mixed in there, you know, financial related, family related, then you ask your favorite kind of cookie. And the next thing you know, the following day, or if it's, you know, a Friday call, then whatever the following business day is, at your client's door is delivered a fresh baked dozen of whatever their favorite cookie is, and a note from you saying, had a great time meeting you, loved hearing your story, looking forward to our next appointment. That's so powerful. It's so personal, and it's going to appeal to their taste or their sense of taste and smell as well, which is very tough to appeal to someone during the drip sequence phase. Now, the sixth way that you can improve your stick ratio for the second and third appointments is emailing them a bomb video, or again, whatever video type messaging platform that your compliance allows, that discusses a recap of your first appointment, or if it was the third appointment, whatever your second appointment was, but it discusses a recap with them of everything that you heard them say. And this would be like the personal side. Again, it's not really the financial piece of it, it's the personal side. In my example earlier where I talked about the family that had long-term care expense issues, your personal video would be something along the lines of, hey, John and Susie, I want you to know that I had a chance to sit down and review the notes from our meeting that we had yesterday or earlier today. And it's very evident to me and clear to me that you guys have, you know, I guess say some small talk in there, but that you guys have a major focus and a goal to make sure that long-term care is never a burden for your family. I want you to know that I resonate with that, and my team was excited to hear that because we help our clients overcome that specific problem and hurdle all the time. I'm excited to share with you the solutions and the possible solutions that we've built out for you next time. Whatever it is, something like that, that's a powerful way to increase your stick rate. The seventh way that you can increase your second and third appointment stick rate is to mail them a copy of your book. If you've written multiple, it'd be your most recent book. Now, you would also want to have like a personal note on the inside cover just as an additional flair. But books as a whole are major credibility boosters, major leverage builders. Not many advisors have books that they've written themselves. That's the other side. If you've ghostwritten a book, I don't know if I'd send that out. But if you've written it yourself, that's a book to send out. And they probably won't read it, but they're going to appreciate it. And you can ask them if they received it. It's just going to create this better dialogue. And it's a really good way to initiate a second meeting in the first place. So the eighth way that you can increase your second and third appointment stick ratio is to mail your prospect, and I specifically say mail, not email, mail them the most recent client newsletter that you sent out. If your newsletters are done properly, they're going to consist of personal things about you. It's going to consist about a calendar for upcoming events. It's going to talk about where, like, you know, maybe it was the quarter in review or the month in review, however often you send them out. But it should also look like $1 million. It should look good. So by sending that out, again, maybe they're not a client yet. Actually, they all wouldn't be a client yet when they receive it. But it's kind of forecasting. Say, hey, this is how we treat our clients. Hey, this might come up, or you might have heard this, especially if it's referral. You want to do this by far. If they talk about how they referred in or they heard about you somewhere from someone else, send them that client newsletter. Let them know what that client's actually seeing. And then ultimately, it's going to increase referral. It's going to increase your odds of them showing up to that next appointment. If you haven't yet checked out the article that I wrote entitled Where You're Losing Prospects and How to Stop It, I would highly encourage you to read it. It's all about where you are losing prospects throughout your sales funnel. Now, whether you are doing a lot of seminar and workshop marketing, maybe you're all digital, maybe you're just, all you do is referrals, that's how you brand and market your firm and how you obtain new clients, doesn't matter. You're going to be losing prospects throughout your sales funnel. It might be 1 out of every 100, or it might be 50 out of every 100 or more. So I encourage you, read the article. It's going to break down all the steps in the sales process and even on the marketing process on the front end. It's going to give you actionable advice on how to improve each of those areas should you be suffering that area. Also, some common mistakes to avoid in each area too. The 9th way that you can increase your second and third appointment stick rate is to mail them a thank you letter. And now, I say this, to be clear, this is not thank you for meeting with me. This is, again, something personal. You will be saying something along the lines of, John and Susie, thank you for spending the time to meet with me and share with me your story about blank. Thank you for educating me about blank, or for recommending me to visit wherever. Like, whatever that came out of that fact finder, that discovery meeting that was more personal, whether it's travel or grandkids or hobbies or whatever, send them a thank you letter for them sharing with you. Because what you want them to feel, the goal of this is make sure they felt like they gave you something during that time together that can help you be a better person, not just business owner or financial advisor. The 10th way that you can increase your second and third appointment stick ratio is to invite that prospect to an upcoming event, whether it's a seminar or workshop, like a prospecting style event, or if it's a client event. Some you might want to hold off on doing this in case you're kind of hesitant they'd make a great client. But if you know they would be a great client, at least based on the interactions thus far, invite them to your client events. Let them know exactly what it feels like to be in the environment, what it is like to be a client of XYZ firm. They should have zero concerns about becoming a client at the finish line if they know exactly what it's like to be a client and they see the attention and diligence you give them on the front end as well. Because again, there's two sides to this. There's the build up, the prove yourself side, and then there's the retain side, like the retain your client side, create an amazing experience. Every once in a while, you can provide that amazing experience before you even fully convince them to become a client, and it's just going to make that whole process much easier. And that's it, guys. That was the 10 ways that you can increase your second and third appointment stick ratio. They should, hopefully, they're easy ways. They can be immediately implemented. They're very uncostly. And hopefully some of them are a little out of the box that you hadn't thought of or done before.
We hope you enjoyed the Advisor Odyssey audio experience. Connect with us on your favorite social media platforms at Advisor Odyssey. You can find our full-length educational videos to watch on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. Check out all our articles and publications on medium.com/Advisor Odyssey. The Advisor Odyssey podcast is available on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. The contents and opinions shared, expressed, or otherwise alluded to on the Advisor Odyssey podcast and audio experience are solely ideas and not to be depicted as tax, legal, or investment advice. Results from the use of these concepts may not be representative of the experience of all financial professionals and are no guarantee of future success. Your results may vary. The Advisor Odyssey and its affiliated members are not to be held liable or responsible for any lawful recourse or punishment invoked upon the individual or accompanying business partners or team members. Federal law, state law, and/or insurance carrier requirements may prohibit or place limitations on any of the ideas and activities expressed. All advisors, planners, wholesalers, affiliated reps, and investment advisors should be aware of any limitations imposed by federal regulation, state regulation, insurance carriers, broker-dealers, and registered investment advisors as applicable. Investment advisors are strongly encouraged to obtain pre-approval from the broker-dealer, registered investment advisor, insurance company, or similar institution with which they may be affiliated.